Folks, we are back live. It's the Infowarrior with Jason Bermas, and we're with Cindy Sheehan. And I was just discussing over the break, is it okay to talk about who you voted for, whether you voted? And you did vote for the president this year. Why don't you talk about that?
Well, I voted because, of course, I was running. So I voted for myself for Congress in California's 8th District. But I supported and endorsed Cynthia McKinney, and I voted for Cynthia McKinney. And we actually spent Election Day. She spent it in San Francisco, and we had a little party, after the elections together. We still work together a lot, and I think that she is one of the most courageous women. And I really, as somebody who was an elected official that was targeted by the Democratic Party and targeted by AIPAC and got her seat taken away from her, not once but twice. She got it back once, and so she ran for president this time. But she just always stands up and says it like it is, and she gets a lot of heat for telling the truth, but, like we said before, a lot of people are afraid of the truth. But Cynthia, went to Gaza. She tried to go to Gaza to, put her money where her mouth was and to get supplies to the Gazans during the horrible bombardment of Gaza by Israel, and her boat was rammed by the Israeli Navy, and that was just. Can
you imagine that? I mean, your heart has to be going a million miles an hour.
They were scared. They were really scared.
I'm sure the Israeli military.
Well, first they were shooting at them.
Oh my God.
Yeah. First they were shooting at them, and then they finally rammed them.
That's just unbelievable to me. And I voted for
a wooden boat, or if they hadn't had a wooden boat, if it had been fiberglass, they said they would have been torn in two.
Really?
And they probably would have died.
Wow.
Yeah.
And only I think she was on one show, one media program about that, and that was it. You saw the coverage, and that was it. And you can have internal UN documents where they admit that genocide is going on, expansionism is going on in Israel, on the Gaza Strip towards the Palestinians, and no one pays attention.
Right.
It's nowhere to be found.
Well, in Gaza, they're just surrounded by a wall. They're in a prison camp. What got me the other day was that Barack Obama went to Buchenwald and said, it's bad about the Holocaust. I agree with him about that. But why doesn't he go to the prison camp that's currently being operated by Israel in Gaza?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, you look at Rahm Emanuel, he's a dual Israeli citizen. Right. He's talking about compulsory service for the youth, saying that we need to have this system. They're launching all this money into civilian youth corps. You see advertisements for City Year where they're showing you Gandhi, they're showing you Mother Teresa, Martin Luther King Jr., and then they're equating it with this change that Obama's bringing, really hijacking true heroes, in my opinion.
Right.
And it is crazy to me that somebody would latch onto that, throw on a red, white, and black jacket, get into a military-type formation, and think that that's freedom.
Right.
I mean, where are the youth going? Do you think we have a shot?
If it's compulsory. I'm totally against compulsory service, and I'm for service. I've devoted my life to serving humanity, but compulsory service is just very anti-democratic and very fascist, I think.
Yeah, and they tried to pass that in the GIVE Act. By the time it got through the Senate, they had to take out that wording in the legislation. But they have H.R. 1444 right now, where they're going to go after it again. And they actually say in the documents, 1444, that they're going to try to get the baby boomer generation to also serve, and that everybody is going to have to serve in some capacity. I could not believe this. They're going to get, I think the baby boomers are 50 to 62. That's the age range.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, around there. Should they really have to serve a government at this point? I mean, that sounds like total and complete insanity. I mean, will you be serving if that becomes a law?
I do. I don't serve my government, but
it seems like you serve the Constitution.
My whole life is for service, and it's to make people's lives better, and that's not what our government is about. And that's what my whole premise of the Myth America book is about.
Where can people get Myth America?
They can go to my website at cindysheehansoapbox.com. It's a PDF, so it's only available online, and if for a $10 donation to my soapbox, which is my internet chat show, and you can also listen to the archives of my show there. I'll email them a PDF of Myth America, And it's doing very well, and people are very excited about the concept. It's about removing ourselves from the robber class system. I say that there's one divide in this country, the robber class and the robbed class. Mm-hmm. And so I don't think we can have full frontal attacks on the robber class. They know how to repel those very effectively, whether it's through just basic things of ignoring people, undermining people, demonizing people like they have me. They've done all those three things to me, or the police state oppressions that they're putting on us. And so it's to create our own, create community, create our own systems, voluntary systems, to work together to remove ourselves from the robber class, to undermine their system.
Cindy Sheehan is the guest. Infowarrior.com is the website. We'll be back after this. Go check out the blog right now to see Glenn Beck spewing his lies at Infowarrior.com.